It's been more than a year since my daughter was diagnosed with global developmental delay with a possibility of autism, and here's what I've learned so far. So my daughter was diagnosed with global developmental delay in June 2024, last year, and it's been a whirlwind journey for us. When we first got the news, we were devastated, we were upset. Me and my wife, we were crying, wondering what did we do wrong, what did we not do that resulted in her having developmental delay. And I think we have since come to terms with accepting that she have the possibility of being neurodiverse or even already being neurodiverse with autism. It wasn't easy to come to terms with that, but once we come to terms with that, the next step was to help her to communicate with us as much as possible. And in Singapore, there are various ways you can do that, and the cheapest and most affordable way I would say is to get a government early intervention program, which is heavily subsidized by the government. But the drawbacks of that is there's a long waiting time, so up to a year. We have some friends who have waited up to 18 months for it. So it's hard to get a place in, and once you get a place in there, it's always very easy to say that that's something that we should be grateful for, but I guess it's also, the long waiting time plays a part in having to scramble for different options. One of them is to get to like a child developmental unit by an hospital. So for example, we went to NUH child developmental unit where the therapist was there to help us, to help her. So it wasn't intensive kind of program for my daughter, but it was to teach us how we can communicate with her. So that is helpful in some ways, but what you want is early intervention that is specialised and targeted right from the onset. So unfortunately, we had to wait for 6 months for that, and it's a lifetime wait, even though it's a six months kind of wait, right? To be as hopeful as possible, to be as helpful in various ways that we can help her to communicate with us. And she managed to get a place in EPIC since January, so it's been about 8 months. We managed to get her a place in Fei Ye EPIC. So 4 days a week she goes to therapy on top of her normal school days, where she has to go to school, daily playgroup setup, where I send her in the morning and then the school bus will come and pick her up around 1 p.m. to send her to therapy. And the therapy classes are smaller, where it's only 5 kids to maybe 5 teachers, where the teachers are trained in occupational therapy, speech therapy, behavioral therapy. So it's very helpful, and we have seen progress from that. So my daughter used to not be able to hold eye contact with us. She used to be very distant. She wouldn't engage play with us. She wouldn't try to get us to play with her. So now she turned 3 in June 2024, so she is 3.5 now, and she's still non-verbal. which is hard because we want to communicate with her, we want to tell her things and hear her to respond to us. But I guess we have seen and been encouraged by the progress she has made because they use picture communications, like picture cards, to help to get her to communicate her needs and her wants. That has been very helpful for us, and we've been trying that. And she's making more eye contact now. She's bringing the milk bottle to the dispenser to tell us that she wants milk. She's now even taking out her diapers because she's been toilet training in school. And toilet training in therapy, where she has been taught how to indicate that her diaper is full and she needs a new diaper. So she's on the process of doing that because now she just takes out a diaper and runs around butt naked. So we are on that journey of trying to get her to indicate to us that she needs a diaper change. It's not easy. Nothing is easy when you are raising a neurodiverse kid. Last week we went for her annual assessment with the child developmental unit, which we went last year. And I felt that I was already mentally prepared that I was going to ask the doctor to give her an autism assessment. But what I didn't realize was the impact it had on me when the doctor finally brought that topic up before I even asked. I guess it hit heavier than I expected because making it a reality, it's always daunting because you always have hope for your kid in the sense that you want them to go through a mainstream school education or even go through what other kids are going through, right? But the doctor was telling us that it's very likely that she will not be able to go to a mainstream school. So in Singapore, there are special ed mainstream school, which means that they take PSLE and they go through the similar education system like the other kids, but a smaller class size at a slower pace. But that's only if she has an IQ of 70, which she will be tested for closer to primary 1, which is 7 years old. And the other thing is, if she's not able to be at a level of IQ of 70, then she needs to go to another special ed school, which it doesn't follow the main curriculum in Singapore. To me, that is hard to take also because I guess I grieve for the child that she will never become, but I also celebrate the fact that she will become her own special person. Her assessment for autism is in October. And from now, it's 24th August at the moment. So from now to October, we will continue to do therapy. We will continue to love her for who she is. Take it one step at a time. And ultimately, we want her to know that she is loved for whoever she becomes. Because I struggled with that for so long as someone who hid my identity for so many years. And being able to be the person that I am now, to be the most authentic person, mean that it took a lot of courage, it took a lot of self-healing to stand out and not follow the masses. And in a way, they always say neurodiverse people have superpowers. And I guess that applies to my daughter as well, because she will be unique in her own different way. And we celebrate her for whoever she becomes in the future. I guess that's it. Sometimes as a parent, sometimes putting our thoughts into words, or in this case into a video, helps me to process that emotions of, like I say, we grieve her for the child that she will never become, but we celebrate her for the child that she's becoming. And if you like this kind of content where I share my story about raising a neurodiverse kid, parenting a neurodiverse kid, then I guess you can let me know below. And in my other content as well, that I talk about being queer, being gender fluid. Yeah. I will continue to keep you updated on the assessment and what turns out after that, the next step for that. See ya.